For a closer look at how the president laid out his foreign policy vision, let's bring in Fox News contributor Rick Grinnell, former spokesman for 4 U.S. ambassadors to the UN. Rick, good to see you today. Your reaction to the president's remarks today?
You know, this whole speech today to the UN was really silly theater when it came to Iran. People are acting like we don't know what the red line is with Iran. And I find it puzzling that President Obama is pretending like we need to have additional talks with Iran when the Security Council, including Russia, has laid out 6 times what the red line is. And the red line is very clear that Iran must stop enriching all uranium. What the Iranians want to do is enrich a little bit of uranium. So if John Kerry is going to talk to the Iranians and not say, hey, we've got 6 resolutions where the international community, including Russia, says that you should stop enriching uranium. If we say anything less than that, then we are undercutting the UN, the Security Council, and the international consensus that's been built up for over a decade. So I'm not sure what all this theater is about shaking hands. We just need to be very clear, comply with what the international community, including Russia, has said.
Well, the president said, you know, first we got to resolve this nuclear program and then we can move on to other things. I mean, that is not something that he's been able to resolve. Previous administrations have been able to resolve. I mean, he says we need to give diplomacy a chance, but long before him, the U.S. was working on giving diplomacy a chance with Iran. What has changed, if anything?
Yeah, nothing has changed. Diplomacy has been going on without military action, without really a push from the international community. Diplomacy has been going on for a very long time. It's been going on for 6 UN resolutions. So it's always puzzling when President Obama arrives to the foreign policy issues so late and pretends like he's the first one to think of things. I mean, he's out there today in front of the UN saying we need to give diplomacy a chance. Where does he think we've been for the last decade? Where does he think that the Security Council has wrestled through these issues? Again, I point to the fact that we have Russia joining 6 resolutions on Iran, drawing a very clear red line, while the President of the United States is still trying to get Russia to join the red line on Syria. So we've already done the hard work on Iran. We shouldn't try to reopen that. We should just say very clearly, stop enriching uranium like 6 UN resolutions have demanded. Anything less than that means the President of the United States and John Kerry are weaker than the UN.
All right, speaking of Russia, a remark today that seemed by our president aimed at theirs after the President Putin's op-ed in which he said that, you know, we shouldn't be talking about America being exceptional. President Obama said today, some may disagree, but I believe America is exceptional.
I think it was a great line, actually, to say in front of the UN community. It clearly was a swipe at Russia. And, you know, it's puzzling to see them picking this fight, though, right when we're trying to convince Russia to join a Chapter 7 mandated resolution to make clear the red line in Syria. So it goes back to Samantha Power, who threw up her hands a couple of weeks ago and said, diplomacy was dead, only to find John Kerry trying to revive it. This is an administration that really doesn't know how to act strategically when it comes to Russia. You remember that we started the relationship over. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton thought the best thing to do was to revamp the relationship, and it's turned out to be the exact wrong thing to do. Our relations with Russia have gotten worse.
All right. We'll see how they digest that remark from our president today. Rick, always good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.